So, very warm welcome, Arthur Martinez, Executive Chairman, Abercrombie and Fitch. Welcome to Dubai, World Retail Congress 2016.
Thank you.
We're still only on day one, but what have been some of your key takeaways so far in terms of the discussion and debate?
Well, the world seems to be obsessed with the digital revolution and how it's transforming sort of old world physical retail and what that means and how do you go about dealing with it. How do you engage with it without destroying your basic business model?
Yep.
How do I set my priorities and how do I accommodate what today's consumer wants?
The tsunami of digital, I think, was the term.
That was
used.
the term I
Right.
used, yes. It's a digital tsunami washing over the industry and everybody is both afraid of it, but also recognizing they have to deal with it.
And what's your position in terms of opportunity, threat?
Embrace it.
Embrace it.
I say embrace it. It depends a lot on who your target customer is. At Abercrombie, we have a younger target customer who are digitally savvy, obsessed with mobile and their mobile devices, and engagement with that cohort comes first through the digital experience, and then later potentially translates into the physical experience. So for us, a very robust front end in the digital space is very important.
And in the discussion earlier with Bernie, you talked about the capabilities of the CEO and the leaders of retail businesses today and tomorrow. What are some of the attributes that those leaders need to have in your mind, do you think?
Well, first of all, a strategist from the get-go. The old tradition of a merchant prince or a stores person or an operator seems less relevant today than somebody who's had multiple experiences, is fluent in strategy, understands what strategy means and doesn't mean. Strategy is not a to-do list. It's a list of holistic or an identification of holistic principles that will drive the business going forward.
Right.
And that can come from quite anywhere in the enterprise.
And which retailers are doing it well, or is there a mix of capabilities and success in the industry at the moment? Is there a big mountain left to climb, do you think?
Oh, there's a big mountain left to climb. Our digital penetration of our business is 24%, which is among the highest, frankly, in the specialty apparel world. Most are... Okay.
I'll answer the question again. I'll ask the question again.
Okay. That's the danger when they can't see the camera.
That's right. So in terms of the capabilities that retailers have and the winners of today and tomorrow, how many retailers are doing it well at the moment? Is there a big mountain left to climb still?
Well, there's a big mountain left to climb for some of the traditional retailers who have come too late to embrace the digital experience.
Right.
We have 24% of our business done online, which is among the highest of the specialty retailers. Nordstrom, probably of the department store crowd, does the very best job at probably 30+% of their business. So for most others, they're running to catch up. And the problem is they're thinking first about their physical stores and then second about the digital experience. And my view is digital first.
Right.
Particularly for the American consumer.
And you're at 24%. How high could that get, do you think?
I see no reason why it couldn't be 40% or 45 or 50%.
Right.
Water will find its own level and this will find its own level if we allow it to.
Right.
That's the key.
Yeah. Okay. And we talked again earlier about the need for agility in changing business model, adapting, getting a quick return on investment. Is this a real challenge for many retailers?
Well, it is. The whole notion of agility is both a decision around how you allocate your capital to various channels of distribution and also how willing you are to change your strategy on a fairly frequent time schedule.
Right.
The latter is just as important as the former. The big box retailers, the department stores, made 20-year bricks and mortar bets, and 20 years is an eternity in this business. Right. Looking out 3 to 5 years is hard enough. And so backing away from long-term commitments of capital, which ultimately depress your return on capital, which is what shareholders, I think, really value, is part of being agile. The other part of being agile is constantly challenging the assumptions that are in your business model.
Right. And who does that well from some of your peer group, do you think? Or the different markets where you see evidence of that working well?
Well, I'd say some of the specialty retailers, not just in apparel, have done a pretty good job at that. I look at a company like Best Buy in the home electronics and related space as having been quite agile after being in a very difficult place. They rebooted themselves in a sense and have come back very, very strongly.
Right, okay. And what, apart from the digital, the challenge of embracing digital, what are some of the other big challenges facing the retail industry over the next 5-10 years?
Talent is the problem.
Right.
Retail historically has not been an industry that has attracted the best and brightest, even though responsibility and authority can come very early in a retail career. But for some reason it has not drawn the best and brightest. And what we have to do as an industry is present a path to success, however defined, economic success or accountability success, that we haven't done in the past.
And is that what attracting new joiners into the industry from an early age, or more experienced hires? Both?
More the former, more the
Right.
joiners at an early age,
Right.
who see the attractiveness of a very dynamic consumer interchange. This is what the GE folks like to call a short cycle business.
Right.
You get very quick feedback on whether what you're doing
Yeah.
is working or not,
Yeah.
and then to adjust. That, for a lot of people, is I.
Okay, great. And what do you enjoy about being at an event like this most? You know, and what are you looking forward to over the next few days?
What I enjoy most is meeting some of my colleagues from the industry that I don't get to see quite as regularly,
Yeah.
exchanging their stories with mine and sharing experiences.
Right.
And there are always some good thoughts that come from the front of the podium.
Right. And any other speakers, any sessions you're looking forward to over the next few days most?
Well, I'm looking forward to Mr. Jackman's session tomorrow,
yeah.
since I'll be
Yeah,
on that
you'll be on
panel.
that.
He's a very stimulating and provocative person, and I know we'll have a lot of fun there.
Yeah, and I guess the debate will probably be about the role of the store, reinventing the store versus digital. And
Well, we're also going to talk about brands, and how
Right.
brands can fall out of fashion, and what you do to bring a brand back to health over
Right,
time,
right.
which is a subject near and dear to Abercrombie and Fitch's heart.
Right. And maybe looking ahead to next year, what are some of the themes you think will be on the agenda this time next year, or what should Ian and the team be looking at in terms of what's
Well,
coming down the line?
something will turn up that nobody can forecast.
Right.
That's the thing about the pace of change in this
Yeah.
business right now.
Yeah.
It used to be a long cycle industry. Things didn't change for long periods of time, but now something new is happening every day. Just look at Amazon now starting to open bricks and mortar stores. What does all that mean?
Yeah.
And how do we come to grips with it?
Yeah. And what would be your one word to describe what you've heard so far from today?
Provocative.
Provocative.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah.
Right. Well, Arthur, thank you very much for your
Thank
time.
you, Nick.
It's great to speak to you.
Yeah.
Cheers.